What's up, ghosts and goblins? It's me, your girl, Nat. And joining me, as always, is my best friend, Katie.
What's up?
And you, my friends, my beautiful, wonderful, perfect friends, are listening to Wading into the Void. Now, it's been a hot minute.
You
It
mean
really
haven't
has.
recorded in like 3 weeks, hot minute?
Yeah. It's been a hot minute. We haven't done shit.
We apologize.
Shit happens.
Shit has officially hit the fan.
Basically. So, we're here.
But we're
Today.
getting through it.
We're here,
doing
we're
it.
getting through it. We got cool headphones, we got cool microphones.
And they match. So
They match. But yeah.
So
Today-
forgive us as we're going through this little like trial figuring out what the hell's working period.
Yeah. I should have put like a wig on or something. I got eyelashes on. Yawn number 1. Let's
Our
go.
customary yawn.
All right. So, I'm not even going to tell you what we're going to do today because you'll find out. That's all I'm going to say. But we are covering the East Coast, quote unquote, most haunted hotel. Tee. But before I tell you what exactly the hotel is all about and what it's called and where it is, let me read you some cards.
Let's do it.
So, we're doing double DeMarco today. We got Stacy DeMarco and Stacy DeMarco. We are doing the Halloween Oracle because I really wanted to do a spooky one. I just felt like it. And today we got the spider card.
Oh. Okay.
Right? Which spider represents community and web weaving.
It's because
Which
we're
is
coming back to our
interesting.
community.
True. And I'm joining new communities too.
I am too. Kind of.
Kind of. She spins her silk alone in the dark with hope of collection. Sticky with dreams, weaving the world, a wide web of connection.
I really hate the word sticky.
Sticky. Masses of sticky spider webs make any Halloween decorations complete. The idea of a haunted house covered in the artwork of a big, hairy spider is classic horror. Although most spiders are not venomous, humans have an innate fear of them. Perhaps it's the fangs or the poison.
Just that they're gross.
Perhaps it's all those legs and the way they move. In many Native American traditions, for example, the spider is the creature that gives birth to all other animals and sustains the web of life. The goddess spider grandmother, and there is also a spider woman, is a key deity that brings wisdom, safety, and communication to all the tribes. She created and wove all the stars in the sky and makes soft webs for those that are troubled to rest upon and be supported by. Spiders' webs can be seen as a symbol of connection, not necessarily entrapment. There is a fine line sometimes between a family or community supporting us and controlling us. This card looks at this discernment. It also suggests you review the way you communicate with the wider community, at work or generally with others, and take steps to improve this or do it slightly differently. It also indicates that there needs to be a balance between what you do for yourself and what you do for others. If we give too much on the outside, our strength diminishes and we cannot weave the supporting web for ourselves.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I like it.
It was wholesome, you know?
Yeah, very much so. So,
But
that's
what's
the
this
oracle.
other card?
This other card, honestly, not as much of contradictory that I thought it was in the first place.
Okay.
So we are going to the Goddesses and Sirens Guidebook by Stacey DeMarco with illustrations by Jimmy Manton.
Yeah, Jimmy.
And Jimmy Manton also did the Halloween Oracle artwork, too.
Okay, so they're just like a pair.
They're like a duo. That's awesome. So today, we got Artemis.
Okay.
We love Artemis, actually. She's the huntress.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because we got the spider. Because spiders are also technically hunters.
So, Artemis represents individuation.
I've never heard that word before.
Individuation. And it says, "It is wonderful to be alone and be able to do as one pleases. Independence is a gift. It is time to create your own life. Run your own race. The time has come for focus." And we got this in the shadow side. So it's a reversed meaning.
When don't we get anything?
Yeah, I feel like
meaning.
we always have at least one with a reverse meaning. But the shadow side says, "Sometimes maintaining a fierce independence can mean we exclude people and opportunities. If we hold ourselves apart from others, we may not be as empathetic as we could be. We also may forget that to have true balance, we need to maintain both the masculine and feminine energies within us. Should we distance ourselves too much from one or the other, we may not forgive transgressions from the opposite sex easily. It's important that we stay true to who we are without being too separate from others." I don't know how I feel about that. That was very binary.
Little bit.
But the symbols for Artemis are a bow and arrow, an arrowhead, moon, hounds, deer, animals, because she's like the huntress, quite literally.
Mm-hmm.
The archer, the huntress, the woodswoman.
I took it more as just like identify as your own self, whether that be
Yeah.
living it male or female, not
Or
male or female,
Anything else?
non-binary, whatever you want to be. Just be
Gender
you.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the things. So have a community, don't let it control you. Be yourself.
Yeah. We're trying.
We're trying. We are 8 minutes in and I have 0 content for us. Just kidding. I have something. So, as you all know, it is very hard for me to write anything for the podcast.
Yeah.
I try so hard to do anything.
If you could see your face, it's just like so dejected.
I am just not good at writing episodes. I really just enjoy flying by the seat of my pants and figuring it out as we go. However,
Any guesses what we're doing today?
However, there is some stuff that I have, but it's just based off of what I know and my experience.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, that's a good way to go right there.
yeah, so I'll kind of give the background, a little bit of the history, and then I'll tell you all about my experience at this hotel, because we're covering a hotel. And that hotel, my friends, is the Haunted Shanley Hotel in Napanoch, New York.
I keep calling it the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay.
It's the Shanley.
Shanley. Yeah. The Shanley Hotel was originally not called the Shanley Hotel. It was actually originally in 1845 called the Rich Hotel, and it is located on Napanock's Main Street, or at the time it was.
Gotcha.
It's kind of in like a weird back alley area now.
Cute.
It's cute, yeah. The building itself on the outside is very spooky looking. I'm going to send Katie a picture of it right now.
I was just looking it up.
Oh.
Oh, cute. Yes.
So the doors are locked and you cannot open them. You have to knock on the door and they'll let you in.
That's kind of eerie and fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, their website is literally the Haunted Shanley Hotel.
Yes. Yes. So, Thomas Rich was the first owner of the hotel. He was the one who built it, and that was in 1845. Mm-hmm. This hotel has changed owners so many times throughout the years. From 1845 to 1895, there were a multitude of owners. Mm-hmm. But in 1895, there was a fire that destroyed the entire original hotel. Wow. The entire hotel. So this is the second hotel, and they are not sure if the hotel follows the same floor plans of the original or not.
Gotcha.
And I can get into that a little bit later of how they might think that it's not the same floor plan, because it's very interesting.
Okay.
I
do notice that they have a fire escape very noticeably on the side.
Yeah, I don't think that's safe at all. I don't think that's usable.
I mean, you still have a pretty decent jump off that roof there once you get from that, like, third landing, so...
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know. So, the fire destroyed the hotel, and they were like, "Aw, shit, let's rebuild this." And they rebuilt it very quickly compared to the original construction. And it reopened just a few months after being completely burned down. Just a few months.
They hustled, okay.
In 1895. So...
I mean, when you got nothing else better to do.
This is a massive building. This building is huge.
She looks pretty big.
For, compared to the other buildings around it. Mm-hmm. It's massive. Like, you could very easily get lost in here and have no clue where the fuck you are.
Gotcha.
So, after being rebuilt, the hotel finally got a new owner. Mm-hmm. And that was James Shanley, who the hotel is named after. The Shanley Hotel.
That makes sense.
He's the most notable owner of the hotel, besides the most recent years. Mm-hmm. Him and his wife are two of the ghosts that have said to be haunted, or who haunt. And I'll talk a little bit more about that, because it's very, very interesting. This hotel is very interesting. It's gone through a lot of different changes and different uses. So the ghosts in there, or the hauntings, or whatever you want to say, they're all so very different. Mm-hmm.
I just want to hear all about it, my guy.
Okay, so James Shanley married Beatrice Rowley. Okay. So James and Beatrice, Mr. and Mrs. Shanley. They got married in the hotel on April 26, 1910. And I believe this family has only ever had, like, tragedy.
Oh. That's not nice.
think they've lost just about every single one of their children.
Oh my goodness.
So they dreamed of having a large family, and on January 6, 1912, she gave birth to our first daughter, Kathleen. Mm-hmm. And sadly, that child passed away just shy of 6 months old.
Oh.
She gave birth to 2 more children, James Shanley Jr., who only lived 4.5 months, and William Shanley, who died a little over 9 months.
Oh my god.
So
they literally didn't even have a child live past infancy.
Yes.
That's awful.
Yeah. So this family really had tragedy, like, befall them.
I'd say so.
Yes. How do I want to do this?
I don't know, my guy.
Like, do I want to, since I mentioned them, do I want to talk about their ghosts and what people experience, or do I want to explain that later?
I say just go into it.
Okay.
By, family.
Many people who go to the hotel have experienced seeing, smelling, hearing both Mr. and Mrs. Shanley.
Okay.
We actually had an experience when we went as well. So, many people have seen a woman in a period dress wandering throughout the hallways that they believe to be Mrs. Shanley. Mm-hmm. And she has a very fragrant perfume that she was known for. And several people have suddenly smelled this, like, very floral perfume, very strong. And we had been doing the scribing mirror. Mm-hmm. They have a scribing mirror where you go, you sit in a room by yourself, you stare into the mirror, you hold a candle under your face, and you watch your face, like, morph and change.
Fun.
And my cousin Haley was in there, and she said that she smelled perfume. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh yeah, that's Mrs. Shanley.
So did they not, like, give you, like, the rundown, like, before you go in? So you're not biased?
Okay, so they told us the history of the building and a tiny bit of the history of the ghosts.
Gotcha.
But they didn't say what people experience or anything like that. I told them I wanted to go in basically blind and figure it out. Because they were like, oh, have you read the history? Have you, like, you know, done your research or whatever? And, sorry, I burped.
Can we keep that in?
Yeah, I'll keep it in. This is going to be a very cut episode. Because I'm bouncing all over the place. But, essentially I went in blind to this. Mm-hmm. And I'd just been reading up on the history after the fact. So we met all of the ghosts and talked to them and whatever, what have you. And I didn't know who they were. Mm-hmm. And so now reading through, I'm learning about them. I'm like, oh, this is so crazy.
You're like, hi, Beatrice.
Hi, Beatrice, yeah. So, tragedy, unfortunately, was not limited to the Shanley family, and there were a lot of deaths and horrible things that happened in this building. Since there used to be a barbershop in it, a barbershop turned bordello, turned hotel, turned, like, 500 other things. Mm-hmm. The barber, Peter Gregor, his youngest daughter, Rosie, is one of the most prolific child ghosts in the hotel. Mm-hmm. She was only 3 years old when she passed away. And this was a very, very tragic story. Mm-hmm. She had apparently wandered across the road to the Hornbeak farm and was said to have lifted a wooden slab to peer into the covered well.
Oh, no.
And this is the kind of more censored version. Because, unfortunately, Rosie lost her balance and fell into the well and struck her head upon the rocks as she fell. Mm-hmm. And her body was found 2 hours later. There are rumors that somebody who stayed at the hotel actually murdered Rosie.
I don't like it.
And we kind of started figuring that out when we were at the hotel, who exactly that may have been. Because what's very interesting is that our tour guide was a medium. Her name is Stephanie. She's very nice. And then we had 2 guests staying with us, and one of them was Bianca Rose, who is also a medium. And it was a very interesting night. Super cool. Super great people to hang out with. And it was very crazy. There would be moments where they were, like, scribbling on paper and stuff, and they're like, do you know what this means? Do you know this? Do you know that? Like, what is this, like, animal that got injured that you see all the time, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, my God. But,
Natalie's like, slow down! You're hurting my brain.
So we actually started out in the seance room. I'm going to be bouncing around a lot between the history and our experiences because I'm just thinking about these things.
That's the best way to do it, my guy.
Yeah. So we started out in the seance room, and there was so much shit that happened in there. They have these, like, music boxes that respond to touch that just start playing music. And it's very scary. It's like a video game. And they have REM pods that react to, like, touch, and they, like, freak out and stuff. There were motion detectors that have, like, one red light, one green light, so you can ask, like, yes or no questions.
Love it.
They had, like, EMF. They had spirit boxes. They had little tablets with, like, spirit boxes built into them.
That was fun.
Very interesting. The whole, like, tablet thing. And they used an app also that, like, picked up random words. And in the seance room, I was doing the Estes test, where I put on the spirit box with the headphones, and I said whatever I heard and couldn't hear what anybody else was saying. And we did this a couple times throughout the entire hotel, and it was really fun. So we kept getting this guy talking to us. And we were trying to figure out who it was, because the people who own the hotel and who are the tour guides for the hotel, they had no clue who this person was. They were just, like, introducing themselves for the first time.
That's gross.
It was really creepy. Everybody was super spooked out. My sister was, like, shaking next to me. And,
love it.
The tour guide, who's also the medium, she kept saying, like, for some reason I have the word fish in my head. Like,
gross. Okay.
and the spirit box was saying, like, Andrew. And she's like, maybe this guy's name is, like, Andrew Fish.
Oh my god, is his name Andrew Fish? Where's a Ouija board when you need one?
I wasn't allowed to use the... Oh, sorry. Albert.
Albert.
Albert
No,
Fish.
Albert? Albert
Huh?
Fish?
Albert Fish.
As in the
serial killer.
Albert Fish?
Albert Fish. Apparently came to visit us at the hotel. We were just trying to figure out who this was, and I guess he was put in the electric chair somewhere close by.
Oh. Okay.
Yes. So I don't remember exactly how far away they said, but he kept showing up, like Albert Fish, and saying really weird shit like, "Where's the children?" And for those of you who do not know who Albert Fish is, he is an American serial killer, rapist, child molester, and cannibal.
Yep.
Who committed at least 3 child murders from July 1924 to June 1928. And he...
You know, I didn't think we'd be talking about Albert Fish today.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too.
I love it.
Yeah.
She's just, Nat's like, I'm going to go to the Shanley Hotel. We're going to do a ghost hunt. It's going to be great. Surprise! Here's Albert Fish.
And you know what? That's not the only serial killer that was there. I'm just telling you that now. They have a resident serial killer named Adam who likes to choke people. And he's very, malevolent? No.
Yes.
Yes. Very creepy. He has his own room on the 3rd floor, which we're gonna talk about the 3rd floor because that's the scariest fucking floor.
I would believe it. That's the one where there's the fire escape.
Yeah,
so you can run away from the ghost.
It's also the one that has a fucking latched overhead door that you push up on the stairs and go in because there's no heat, no electricity, and it's unfinished.
I love it.
Yeah, so this guy, Albert Fish. Albert Fish. They were like, he supposedly was executed somewhere nearby at this place. And I was like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. He's known as the Boogeyman, which that actually came up on the spirit box or something.
He was executed at Sing Sing.
How far away is that?
Sing Sing is in Ossining, New York.
Sing Sing Prison.
Yes. Now known as Sing Sing Correctional Facility.
Yeah, I don't know how far away that is.
I'll look it up.
From Napanoch. Sing Sing.
I'm just gonna Google Maps it. Yeah, sure. Leave me alone. I would like to go to Sing Sing Correctional Facility. Directions.
All right, guys. It is an hour and a half away. An hour and 23 minutes.
I have an hour and 20.
Well, so that's interesting. It was very weird because we were sitting in the complete darkness, complete silence, just talking. All of a sudden, this guy's like, my name's fucking Albert Fish. And then the spirit boxes and the apps and stuff started saying a bunch of freaky shit. And it was like, where's the children? And I think one of the kids showed up because that's another interesting thing is that the
Don't tell me the ghost kids loved Albert Fish.
No. The spirit boxes, the tablet spirit boxes that they had, when the ghosts talk, they have genders and ages voices. So like there would be like men talking, women talking, children talking. Like they all have respective voices that sound like
what they might have actually sounded like.
So
that's disturbing.
When we went into the seance room, there were so many voices happening. It's like they all came into the fucking room and were talking to us. So, like, there'd be a man saying, like, where's the children? And then a girl saying, like, who are you? And a baby, like, hello.
Crying.
I kept hearing a baby crying. And,
well, the first two lost like 1,000 kids.
It's true. There were a lot of children who died here, unfortunately.
Yes, that probably sounded insensitive. I didn't mean it to sound insensitive.
But we had these lucid, like, 360 headphones that amplified the sound of everything. And they were like, oh, you're the birthday girl, you get to wear them first. And I was like, okay. And as soon as I put them on, I heard a baby crying and fucking tweaked.
You just, like, immediately throw them off your head.
I was like, what the hell? I hear a baby crying. And everybody, like, went silent. And I was like,
You're like, thanks, guys.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that whole experience was weird. And apparently they have, like, this mask in a box that they call the thing in the box. And his name is, like, Mort, which means death.
Cute.
And there's also another ghost at the hotel who's a little malicious. And he is the priest.
Fitting. Okay.
Which his role, they don't exactly know who he is, his name, or anything like that besides the priest, and the fact that he walks around in black robes with a hood that covers his head. He and Mort don't like each other. And there's, like, a battle going on at the hotel between these two entities. It's
Cute.
Very strange, the dynamic that's happening at this hotel. Because as soon as I put on my Spirit Box headphones for the Estes test, all shit, like, broke loose. Like, they were, like, try to go...
beefing.
They were, like, try to go into a trance, like, do this, do that, you know, like, try to, you know, channel whatever you can. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. But all of a sudden, I started hearing the weirdest shit. Like, blood, priest. This is not a dream.
That's and, just like, what I want to hear.
And he kept saying something about removing teeth. And
Cute. Okay.
Like murder and all these nasty things. Like, I'm the devil. And
was the priest saying that or Mort?
The priest. Because the priest likes to scare people. And basically, this hotel used to be a part of the Irish Mafia.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy. I'm jumping everywhere. But at some point in its timeline, the hotel had very deep roots in the Irish Mafia. And a lot of the ghosts there are related to the Irish Mafia somehow, including the priest. He is said to have been maybe one of the people that tortured people.
Chill. Okay.
And I didn't know any of this. So when I started saying something about removing teeth and blood and torture and shit like that, they were telling everyone else in the room about the priest, and I couldn't hear it. So I just saw the horrified looks of everyone around me, my sister shaking and leaning on my shoulder, and me having no clue what's going on, like, haha, like,
You're
teeth,
like, this is so much
remove
fun.
them, blood, murder, I'm the priest, I'm Satan.
Jesus Christ.
So I was like, okay, done with that. All right. So when we left the room, I was like, what happened? Like, what was I saying? People were like freaking out and they were like, go, that was so crazy. And they told me about the priest and they started showing us pictures from the scribing room. Mm-hmm. Somebody had gone in the scribing room and got a like full body picture of a man in a robe.
Love it.
And they were trying to see if he looked like Albert Fish and stuff like that. And yeah, it was really strange. But yeah, so after the seance room, we took a little break and talked to Bianca about her doll Lyrica. Mm-hmm. And talked to Stephanie about her doll. I cannot remember her name, but she has multiple haunted dolls. And they were explaining that a lot of people who have haunted dolls or who do ghost hunts or anything like that, they get the light up like cat ball toys that like when touched they light up. And I had never even, like, thought of that before. But that's, like, a really cheap, like, ghost hunting tool, which is really cool. And it was really funny because Stephanie, the tour guide, was talking about how she will watch TV with her dolls, and she'll put a cat ball in front of all of them, and she'll, like, ask them, like, about the show, and they'll respond, and, like, do you want to watch this? And they all, like, light up if they want to watch it, and it's just, it was so funny. And, so after that, we went into the gentleman's quarters, which it was the room that we were staying in.
Nice.
Which, normally, all the ghosts in there hate women.
Perfect.
And don't want them in there. And I didn't know this until they were like, do you know about this room? Like, that you're staying in? And we were like, no, I don't know. Everybody else knew except for me. And they were like, yeah, you might have a hard time here tonight.
Wait, was it just you in there?
No, it was me, my aunt, my sister, and my cousin. Okay.
I was like,
so it was,
you just, like, all had your own room, or?
No, it was just the four of us in one big room with a bunch of beds.
Cute,
and,
okay. I'm also just like, really, I'm still thinking about those little cat balls and the dolls.
Yeah.
And just, like, how funny would it be if, like, they were all watching TV and everything was a no until, like, she turned on, like, RuPaul's Drag Race. And they were just...
Yo! Yeah, that would be me if I was a haunted doll.
You're like, yes, queen!
Yes! It's me.
Karaoke battle!
Your lip sync for your life! But yeah, we went into the gentleman's quarters, and
parlor.
My cousin went into the mirror scribing room, and she did the Estes test from there. We had the door open, and there was more of the fucking priest. Ugh. He kept saying, like, I'm the priest, I'm Satan, I'm the devil, and she was just saying it and was like, I don't want to say this shit anymore. And the tour guide had told us that somebody had stayed in that room before, the night before, and they left at 11 p.m.
They were like, no.
When checkout is 10 a.m. the next morning, because she was in hysterics, crying. Nice. She had woken up in the middle of the night to see the priest standing at the end of her bed with giant razor-sharp teeth.
That is charming.
Mm-hmm. And I think this might have been a different person who left in hysterics, but the one that was in hysterics who left, they had said that she kept seeing a man pacing back and forth in their room, like down the aisle of where all the beds are. And she was completely tweaking over it because it looked like a man was in their room. A full body of a man.
Nice. A solid full body apparition.
Yes. And what's crazy is that as soon as we got in there, we were kind of like goofing around and saying stuff like, hello, trying to talk to stuff and playing with the EMF and everything. And my aunt had been on one side of the room, and we didn't go to that side of the room for the rest of the trip because of this. She had been standing there, and all of a sudden, she said it felt like somebody had, like, pet her head. Like, very slowly down her
That's
hair.
gross. I hate that. I really don't like that.
What's interesting about that is that maybe it was a man ghost, maybe, but the tour guide told us that when she sleeps in there, because she'll occasionally sleep at the hotel, she'll sleep in the bed right where my aunt got her head pat, because Mrs. Shanley will come and pet your hair until you fall asleep. So it also could have been Mrs. Shanley. Or it could have been a creepy old man ghost.
I promise I'm not ignoring you. It's just like the more you're talking about these things, the more uncomfortable I'm getting. Like there's somebody standing in my room. So I'm lighting
You're lighting
some
a protection stick?
Yes. It's been happening more and more recently. Like I feel someone's like chilling, so.
Yeah, so
I'm not trying to fuck around and find out, you know?
Yeah, when we first showed up at the hotel, the tour guide immediately was like, did one of you bring a man with you today? We were like, huh? She was like, one of you brought a male spirit with you today. And we were like, who? Like, what? And, we had been talking, which we'll have to cover this at some point and do the investigation that I want to do at my aunt's house, because my aunt's house, the foundation of the house, was a part of a building that was originally burned down after a man was murdered.
So
the murder is unsolved. Still to this day, do not know who did it. It happened in Bennington, and I know the stepson of the man who died. Still to this day, don't know who did it because the house was set on fire, and I don't think they got any evidence.
Okay. I would love to go investigate there. Our little amateur ghost investigating asses.
So, they think that he was shot in the head.
Wow.
And then
like
the house was
execution
caught on
style?
fire. Yeah. So,
Wow.
what's interesting is that when we went to the seance room, Haley, my cousin, put on the spirit box for the Estes test, and Mr. Ed came through.
What?
And the medium, Stephanie, was saying, like, my head hurts. I'm feeling like an explosion on the side of my head. And basically he was channeled and was talking to us. Almost
Cool.
like he wanted to tell us who murdered him.
Okay, that's cool.
So now we have to go and do the investigation. Because he followed us. He followed us the whole time. Because we joked, like, oh, it's Ed's Big Adventure. Like, he's joining us today. And then, plot twist, he actually was. And said so in the seance room. It's very freaky. But...
That's hilarious. I love that. It's Ed's Big Adventure.
But there's so many other ghosts that we have not even touched yet.
Okay, let's go.
We have Frank, who is the bodyguard of the bordello, which includes ladies of the night, Anna and Maggie.
Okay.
I believe. And also up in the bordello is Rosie's bedroom, the little girl who was probably murdered in the well.
Mm-hmm.
Or murdered and then dumped in the well. But to this day, they still say it's an accident.
Mm-hmm.
There's Joe, who was a hitman for the Irish Mafia. And he is upstairs on the 3rd floor. And when you go into his room, all that's in there is a chair.
So he's minimalist, huh?
Yeah. This is Joe's special chair.
Okay.
And you have to ask permission from Joe to sit in the chair.
Oh.
So we all went around and we said, "Hi, Joe, I'm so-and-so. Can I please sit in your chair?" And I was the first person to ask. And he said yes to me. So I was like, you know what? This is never going to happen again. Let's do it. So I sat my ass down in that chair and immediately had chills all over my entire body. I felt like I was vibrating with energy. It felt like the seat was warm.
Ooh.
Like somebody had been sitting in it when nobody had been sitting in it before. And we are on the 3rd floor, which had no power, no heat, no nothing. It was freezing up there, and the chair was warm. It was the freakiest thing ever. I could feel like he was sitting there.
That's gross. I love how I just keep saying that's gross.
But he was a really cool ghost. Like, he was just very interesting. And he has a very special gift that whoever sits in the chair, he can guess how much Irish you are. And he did.
Cheat. How Irish are you?
I can't really remember what he said. I think it was like 30-something%.
Okay.
Which was pretty fucking accurate. And it was very strange, but the 3rd floor has, like, the most ghosts on it.
Okay.
So we have Joe. We have Jonathan, who they say on their website that it's a little boy, but when we were doing the tour, Stephanie said that it is an adult male with the mentality of a child.
Gotcha. Okay.
So there's one room that's Jonathan's room, and it's filled with toys and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
What are you looking at?
Not places to ghost hunt near us.
And then that's when we went to Adam's room.
Okay.
Adam is a serial killer, who killed people by choking or strangling or cutting their throats.
So
I don't know.
This guy with the, like, very young mentality is the one that did this?
No. He's across the hall. That's Jonathan.
Gotcha.
And Jonathan will actually say happy birthday to people if it's your birthday.
Adorable.
It's very cute. And I can't remember if he said it or not to me, but we were talking about it while we were up there. And he kind of just came in and said hi, and it sounded like a little kid.
I love that.
Yeah, it was really cute.
That's adorable.
But we go into Adam's room, and it is a completely empty room. You know, they have chairs set up and everything. And there is a fucking noose just hanging from the wall. Like, somebody brought it there for him. And he doesn't have a tip jar. Some of the ghosts have tip jars that people can put money in, and they will buy stuff for the ghosts. Like,
that's hilarious.
In the bordello, Anna and Maggie's rooms have tip jars, and you can put tips in there, and they'll buy them, like, dresses and stuff that they pick out. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just picked out some dresses, and they had them hanging in their rooms for them. So, and they will have their spirit boxes on. The owners will have their spirit boxes on, like, all the time and, like, talk to the ghosts. So they have, like, relationships with these ghosts and these entities.
I love that.
Like, the tour guide calls Joe, the man upstairs with the chair, her ghost boyfriend, because they have a very interesting relationship.
Okay.
She's married, but she's like, he's my ghost boyfriend. And
love it.
They were, like, bickering back and forth and, like, joking and stuff like that with the spirit box, and it was so funny. But there's also a ghost cat named Sweet Thing.
Oh. I love ghost animals. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we went into Adam's room, and it's freezing fucking cold. Scary as fuck. And the tour guide was trying to get him to, like, throw something at her. She's like, Adam, I know you don't like me, I know you don't want me here, but I'm giving you this opportunity to do something.
Okay.
She was like, you can throw something at me, you can kick me, you can do this, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And people kept saying, like, I feel like someone's touching my leg. I feel like someone's moving the chair. I feel like someone's doing this. I feel like someone's doing that. And the fucking cat balls. They had the cat balls in there. They started going off like crazy. And it got so fucking cold. It was like we were all shivering. I could almost see my breath. And
I was just making like a breath
noise. But yeah, it was really freaky. And all this entire time, we could hear somebody walking up and down the halls, like full volume, sounded like they had like really loud shoes on. There was nobody else there because we were all in the same room together. And like you could hear them like walking down the hall, taking a left, like walking around the stairs, and knocking.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking creepy.
I mean, it sounds like it.
And this whole time, there were, like, the music boxes everywhere, and the music boxes kept going off, and they wouldn't stop going off in the third floor. And it was, like, a fucking creepy-ass music box. Where did
just
we go
ghosts.
after? But
I mean, I'm just really enjoying this.
I don't even know. I'm trying to think of what else happened. So, after a certain time, the tour guide leaves and kind of leaves us to our own devices and lets us roam the hotel in its entirety. Mm-hmm. And we were too afraid to go back to the third floor by ourselves because it's very spooky. It closes at a specific time for some reason. Like, they go up and they shut it. You're not allowed up there past 3 a.m. I don't know why. So we were like, yeah, we're not going to go back up there.
Uh-huh.
So we decided to go to the bordello. And we were with Bianca and Chris. And, of course, Chris was the only man there. And the tour guide said, you're ghost bait. Because they really like men here.
Mm-hmm.
So we get up there, and he goes into Anna's room. And he's talking to her. And she's like, oh, hey, a guy's here. Because she's a lady of the night.
Yeah.
So they were, like, flirting. My sister did the Estes test. So she's sitting there. And he kept walking around, recording stuff and, like, touching stuff. And I don't think the ghosts liked it. Because my sister kept screaming his name on the Estes test. Like, she was like, Chris, 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 like, every time you went into somebody's room. And we had flashlights set off, or set up for them to, you know, touch or whatever, light up. And they kept going crazy. And I wonder, I think Bianca posted it on her channel when we were up there. And I think she did a live video of my sister doing the Estes test and tagged her in it. It was very cool. We talked to Frank. We talked to Tom. I believe his name is Tom. He was a friend of the owner, or her uncle, or something like that. He passed away, and he always joked about being in love with Frank, the bodyguard. And they would, like, flirt back and forth to each other.
Love it.
And he passed away, and now they were like, Tom, well, what do you think of Frank? Like, are you happy? Are you this or that? Are you together? Or what's going on? And he basically was like, he's everything I thought he was. So they're still, like, flirting in the afterlife, which is hilarious. But, yeah, there was a lot of different things that happened there, and I wasn't really able to sleep that much because it was very spooky.
Shocker.
And basically that's all that happened. There was just a lot of random shit.
Fair enough.
So many different ghosts came around to chat. They are definitely there. I think that this place is for sure haunted. These entities are real. They have real relationships with the owners. The owner, Kelly, is awesome. She's so nice. Stephanie, the tour guide, so nice. It was really a great visit. I want to go again and rent out the whole hotel.
Yikes!
And redo our investigations and go, like, balls to the walls, not scared of anything, and just do it.
No sleep for the wicked.
No sleep. And I think that Katie needs to join me the next time we go.
Absolutely, yes. I was still freaking bummed that I couldn't go that time.
Yeah.
But you make plans already.
I know this episode is going to be really all over the place, and I probably missed some stuff. And I know there's a lot of the history that I didn't go over. And if you're interested in learning more, I want you to check out the Haunted Shanley Hotel website. Which is thehauntedShanleyHotel.com. It tells you the entire history, It gives you information on private ghost hunts. It shows you the rooms. It shows you evidence. There's a gift shop. There's ways to book your stays. And honestly, it's a great website. They also have a GoFundMe if you'd like to donate to help them keep this amazing hotel, amazing spot for the spooky alive and active. And check it out. Donate some money to them. A little probably goes a long way, just like for us. Mm-hmm. It's really an amazing historical location.
Yeah, dude, it sounds pretty freaking great.
So yeah, if I missed any of the history, which I definitely did, there's so many more people who were there. Eleanor Roosevelt has her own fucking room there. Like, there's so many different things. And if you want to learn more, go to the website, read the history, read all about these people. Go visit the Shanley Hotel.
Yes, go visit the Shanley.
Go stay a night. Let me know what you think. Let me know what happens. Once again, apologize for this being all over the place. I'm just trying to recount my experience as well as tell a little bit of the history and explain. So this episode was very hard for me to do. I tried my absolute best to stay on track and kind of follow something. It was very hard. But I'm happy that I got to tell you guys about this. I had a great time. I made some great friends. We're going to go to Paracon and hang out with Bianca.
Yes, we are.
It's going to be awesome.
And I want her to tell me how to tap into my psychic abilities.
And you know what's crazy is that we were actually choosing between 2 different haunted hotels to go to. Well, one's a hotel, one's an inn. And I think the other one was the Braylock Inn in the Catskills.
Yep.
And for some reason, just looking at the photos of the Shanley Hotel, I felt a draw to go to this over the other one. Mm-hmm. And even though this one was the one that was further away, I felt a pull that I had to go here. I just had to go here. And it makes sense. There were too many random coincidences that happened that night. Having 2 mediums, getting a free psychic reading where we got to talk to my grandfather. Both of my grandfathers, actually. We got to talk to my cousin's house ghost. Like, there's too many coincidences that happened, and I don't know what would have happened if I chose the Braylock Inn instead. The Shanley Hotel was where I was supposed to go, and it's just very crazy, everything that happened there. It's so hard for me to explain without you actually being there and witnessing it yourself. So go check it out. Please.
Yes.
Follow them on Instagram, the Haunted Shanley Hotel. They don't post very often, but I'm sure if more people followed, they probably would.
As we casually have not posted in weeks.
Yeah. But that's okay. So, hopefully this episode was interesting for you. I tried my absolute best.
I thought it was good.
If I missed anything, go read up. That's all I'm going to say. They have a whole timeline. They have a history timeline.
I did look at their history. It was pretty frickin' extensive, so...
Yes, it has a lot of history. So...
Go read about it, my guys.
Go read about it. TheHauntedShanleyHotel.com. So now, let's do our outro, because I don't have anything else to say, and I'm just repeating myself at this point.
If you enjoyed this episode, or any of our other ones, make sure to follow us on social media at
Wading into the Void.
And that is on Instagram, TikTok, and the Facebook.
Le Facebook.
And if you really want something exciting and very different, make sure you are following us on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Music, everywhere you can listen to podcasts, because next episode is one you are not going to want to miss, my friends.
Ooh-wee.
And I guess you could, support us by checking out our cool merch on our website, www.wadingintothevoid.com.
You added an extra W.
I know.
Last time you didn't have enough. Now you have too much.
See,
www.wadingintothevoid.com.
Thank you. It's the dot that messes me up, I'm telling you. It's just like my ADHD brain is just like, no, just stop.
No, ho, give up. Too many W's.
It's like, just stop. But yeah, if you're enjoying this, go do that. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
No, we're not done yet. We have to tell them how they can donate to us if they want to help support us.
Oh,
Katie.
Yes, I guess that part's important.
I know it's been 3 weeks since we recorded.
We're rusty.
Yeah, we're a little rusty. This episode, a little rusty.
Could you tell?
Could you tell? Me going through fucking chutes and ladders of history. So yeah, if you want to support us, monetarily, which I will fucking cry if you do, we have 2 different options, which is technically also just, well, we have 3 different options, technically 2. Okay, people, we are on Patreon. We don't do shit with it, but if you want to donate on Patreon, all you gotta do is search up Wading into the Void. Our name is so unique and amazing that we will be the first ones that show up. The tiers mean nothing, so
Yes.
sorry. They have descriptions, but they actually mean nothing because we don't do anything yet.
They just have cool names.
They just have cool. You just get a cool name. The other way you can support us is through Anchor and Spotify, since they're owned by the same people.
Yeah.
If you go to our Anchor or our Spotify, there is a link for donations. The lowest you can choose to donate is a whopping 99 cents, which to most people is not much, but to us it means a lot.
Yes. We could buy almost one thing at the dollar store.
I'm pretty sure the dollar store is like over $1 now.
It's like $1.50. So like we'd be nearly there.
So if 2 people subscribed, we could buy one thing at the $1 Plus store.
We could get a candy bar to share.
Yay!
No, but for real, guys, we appreciate any amount of support that you can give the podcast, whether it's donating monetarily or just listening and sharing it with your friends.
And I just want to say thank you all for being so accommodating and understanding for the past few weeks where Katie and I have just been going through the fucking trenches
Literally.
of life.
Do we want to provide just like a few examples so they know we're
Sure.
just not ghosting them on the pod? So for me, basically my entire family got the vid and I have been exiled from my house for like the past week and a half. So this is like my first day back at home. So this is why we didn't have an episode for last week, because I literally could not access my equipment. And, other than that, just feminine things killing me slowly. And yeah.
For me, I know I mentioned this in the previous episode, but I've been extremely suicidal and depressed. And I have no motivation to do anything, including my homework, my actual job, and the podcast, and streaming. So I have been escaping into virtual reality, playing VR chat, and doing crazy shit. So I'm coming back. I'm trying to get motivated again. I'm trying to go to work again. I'm trying to do this, trying to do that. I have so much shit to do for school. But I'm almost done. I just have to push through. And
Yes.
I'm hoping starting back up with the podcast will help me be more productive and
Yes.
more positive. Because I love the podcast. I love all you people that follow us and support us. I love everyone that we've met so far and the connections that we've made. And it really boosts my mood talking about the podcast. And now my therapist is back from vacation, so I will actually get professional help.
I never thought about therapists going on vacation and how that would, like, affect the patients.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I want to die.
You need a session. Yeah.
I need a session. I don't know how I survived before without therapy.
Yes, but you see, that shows the importance of it all.
Yes, mental health issues are very important to be aware of and talk about. And if you or a loved one is diagnosed with mesothelioma, anyways.
I was really hoping you were going to say that.
So yeah, that's all I have for you people. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you're not mad at us because we haven't been doing shit. I swear we're just busy and going through shit.
We are not abandoning the pod, we promise.
We will never abandon the pod or any of you.
We are coming back. Better than fucking ever.
So yes, if you find yourself in Napanock, New York, go visit the Shanley Hotel.
Do it.
Go talk to some Irish Mafia bad boys.
Fake priest people who really are obsessed with your tea.
Some children. Some ladies of the night.
Wow.
And make some connections with people that you never would have before. And open yourself up to new opportunities.
Yes. I love that.
Goodbye, that's all I have. Everyone. So goodbye.